Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Contradiction, Spot the Liar. In the last episode, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what happened in the last episode. It has been like a week and a half, 2 weeks, since I last touched this game, so my memory's a little bit hazy. Yes, the Third Eye Flyer. Okay, if I remember correctly, we were speaking with James, and he was going on about how, like, oh, there was a cult in the village. There was this cult, and I saved the day. I printed these flyers, and that made the cult go away. It totally wasn't that guy committing suicide. Nope, it was me and my flyers that made the cult go. Something like that. I can't remember if we had showed Rebecca the flyer or not. I'm gonna assume we haven't showed Emma, Simon, and Drinky McGee. Rand. I can't remember his first name. Drinky McGee, you know who I'm talking about. Lizard Man. I feel so badly calling him that. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever your name is, I'm so sorry. You know what, just in case we haven't, let's go into the pub. See what Rebecca has to say. I can't remember if I mentioned this. I'm gonna be honest, the whole, like, there was a cult, there was mind washing, and, you know, is it called mind washing? Mind wiping? Whatever, you know, like ECT and, like, fucking about with people's heads. I don't really buy that. You know, they were people on a business course. They've probably spent an exorbitant amount of money. If it's anything like Atlas, then it's rather useless, just putting on masks and being boastful. Like, what even is that? They were probably just stressed. Stressed out of their minds and sleep deprived, you know.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
He was also claiming they were making slaves. Okay, we didn't. Excellent. Was there anything else? Okay, no, just this. Good stuff.
Have you seen this before?
Don't take any notice of that.
Why?
James Wilson is a fantasist. He spends his time pretending to cast spells in the woods. He's not exactly a stable person. And, I heard that he was involved with growing cannabis.
Really?
Well, don't quote me on that.
So you don't think there's any truth at all to this?
None at all.
I love how she's like, I heard he grows cannabis, when apparently you used to grow Salvia divinorum, which is a hallucinogenic. Love, why are you judging him? Also, if he wants to pretend he casts spells in the woods, fuck it, he's not hurting anyone. I mean, I do kind of agree with her, the whole, like, oh, they were making slaves and all of that. I think maybe he got high and, you know, just like the paranoia kicked in. He was like, these people are acting weird. It totally can't be that they're stressed about their life choices and the fact that they're spending money on a really stupid course. No, they've been brainwashed. Brainwashed! That's what I was thinking of, not mind-washed. I get there in the end. I get there eventually. Okay, yeah, that seems to be it.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
God, I am very excited to be playing this again. Like I said, it's been around 2 weeks since I last played this, and I am really enjoying myself, so I'm like, ooh, I like the environment. I like this game. I have fun with it. I love the campy acting. And we want to go to Woods Lane and into Eden Lodge.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Okay, what do you have to say about this?
Have you seen this?
Yeah. It was all over college last year. James made it. Idiot.
So you don't agree with what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with anything James says. He's absolutely crazy. He thinks that the government has been controlled by aliens and that we're all bugged. He's nuts.
I no longer think that James was the unwanted admirer. I will say, I do think that Atlas and Third Eye are one and the same thing, because, you know, Third Eye was using this symbol, and we found this mask, which Atlas is using masks that are very similar. Drinky McGee also said that, like, oh, these were made by a friend who died last year. We know that Liam died last year. It's all very suspect to me. So I do think that Third Eye and Atlas are one and the same. You know, they had someone commit suicide. Then these really slanderous flyers popped up, and I think they probably thought, oh shit, we'd better go to ground and rebrand, but we're going to use the exact same stuff that we were using in Third Eye in Atlas. You know, they were just lazy, effectively. So yeah, I do think that Atlas and Third Eye are one and the same. I don't think that James was the one who gave the necklace to Emma, because the necklace is being used on the course. James never went on the course. So that, it just doesn't add up. But I do question why she's so hostile to James. It could just be the fact that, like, he's my boyfriend's creepy friend, and I really don't like the fact that they're hanging out together, but they've been friends longer than I've been dating this guy, and I can't really say anything, but, like, he creeps me out. Like, it could just be as simple as that. I don't know. She's so vehement, like, oh, he's crazy, and, like, I hate him, almost. I feel like there should be a good reason for that. Admittedly, he creeps me out. That is a perfectly valid reason. I wonder if we're going to get more into that or not.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
And what do you think?
Have you seen this before?
Oh, is this the thing that James did? Yeah, I've heard of it.
What do you know about all this? A Third Eye, I think they were called?
I don't really know anything about it. I mean, I've heard about Liam's death, but all I know about Three Eyes or whatever is on this flyer.
So you hadn't heard about Third Eye?
No, sorry.
I feel like that could be a contradiction. But then again, with Emma and James, I've picked up on their tells quite quickly because they're quite expressive people. Like with James, his eyes, when he's lying, his eyes they go all over the shop. He's looking everywhere all at once, and so it's very obvious. With Emma, she looks guilty as sin. Emma's just a really bad liar, and she also, Emma takes way too many gulps when she's lying. And James is also a lip licker. He licks his lips when he's lying. Simon doesn't really have many tells. I feel like this could be a lie, but he said that in quite a convincing manner. But he's a good liar, so he would be convincing. Oh! I'm gonna leave this alone for now.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
We'll go have a chat with, I've just taken to calling him Drinky McGee. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Yeah, further into the woods. Towards Atlas. Okie doke, sir. Sir, please tell me your name.
A couple more questions, if that's okay.
Ryan, there we go.
What do you know about this?
Not much.
So you've never seen this before? You don't know anything about Third Eye?
Well, I don't remember seeing it now.
You don't recognize any of the symbols on it?
Sorry.
One, Ryan's tell, he blinks. He blinks a lot. His eyes remain steady, but he has a load of additional blinks. You don't recognize any of the symbols.
Aha.
Boom.
Ryan, you've just told me all about the moon symbols on the mask. Then you're claiming you don't know anything about the symbols on the flyer. It's all the same thing.
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, yes, I do remember that.
So what did you know about Third Eye?
Oh, not much, really. Never came into contact with them.
That explanation was way too short. Ryan's definitely hiding something.
Yeah, he was also lying. Got it. I'm just gonna go through these because again, it's been quite a while since I saw these, so I just need a little bit of a refresher. Pendant. Because there is definitely a lie there. 100% he's not being honest. Ooh. That's interesting. 1 second. They're based at the village hall. And here you say that you were based at the village hall.
Aha. According to the flyer, this Third Eye group was based at the village hall, is that right?
Was it?
That's where you were based, wasn't it? Yeah, you said you invented the Atlas phrase free to be free while you were based at the village hall.
So I did.
So you must have come into contact with Third Eye at some point. You were using the same hall.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with you, Inspector.
Go on.
You see, Third Eye is, or was, Atlas under a different name. Sorry.
Atlas is Third Eye.
In a new improved form, yes.
And you ran Third Eye.
With Dad, yes.
So you must have known Liam. You didn't just meet him, did you?
Yes, I knew him, Inspector, but don't get your hopes up. All of this has been thoroughly investigated and cleared up.
You've been investigated about his death?
They dropped the case. We didn't have anything to do with it. Well, when I say drop the case, I mean a police investigation is one thing, but what the public thinks is another. They threatened to go public, and then James bloody Wilson started distributing his flyers, and that was it. No choice. There was an end to it.
You had to change the name.
We'd already paid the family an out-of-court settlement. I thought that was an end to it. But then James and his cronies, they wouldn't leave it alone. So we had to close down, buy a new place, rebrand. So eventually, we reopened here.
As Atlas?
As Atlas.
And it worked?
Up till now, yes.
So you knew James Wilson too?
We knew James, but he didn't know us as such. Oh, he was very quick to shoot us down, but he didn't do anything like actually coming to the course to see what he was about.
So James wouldn't know that you were now running Atlas?
Not unless he came to one of our courses.
And how much of all that stuff was true? ECT machines, brainwashing?
I'm afraid that exists only exclusively in the mind of Mr. Wilson. All we do is make better business people. We challenge their prejudices and presumptions. Why don't you come along and see for yourself? A course starts in 15 minutes. Excuse me, Inspector. Hello. I can't come back now. Well, you have my car at the moment. All right. All right. See you later. That was that. I have to go back. You can come and meet him if you like.
Well, I might come and have a chat.
Come with me. To be perfectly honest, Dad's a great businessman, but he lacks imagination. He does, however, believe in the power of the individual, when taught by the right teacher, of course. Ryan! In here. Just coming. He's through here.
To whom do I owe the pleasure?
Detective Inspector Jenks. I'm investigating a death in the village. I believe you knew Kate Vine.
Oh, I thought all this was dealt with, Inspector. You do know that Kate Vine was a Gherkin short of a big mad. You do now.
Father.
You must forgive my son, Inspector. He still can't summon up the courage to come straight to the point. So what do you want to know?
Well, a few more questions if you don't mind.
Oh, but I do mind. I'm a very busy man. Try asking an intelligent question, like, do I mind being quizzed about a once promising student who turned into a useless drunk? Ryan, would you mind leaving us for a while?
I'll go back to the centre. I have one or two things to prepare. Call me if you need me, Dad.
You may begin, Mr. Holmes, although I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't have much to do with the course nowadays, so I can't give you any hard information.
That's as maybe, but we
No,
need...
that's as is. But if you want my opinion, I'd be quite happy to give it to you. So, fire away.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Paul certainly doesn't take any prisoners. It's obvious who's pulling the strings in this family, and I wonder what they got up to in their previous guise as Third Eye. 8 o'clock already.
Okay, I have so many things to say. 1, I knew it. I knew it. I know shitty MLMs when I see them. Secondly, the guy playing Ryan, I loved his acting in that scene. Oh, it just... I don't know what it was, but the kind of... I can't put my finger on it, but just going from, like, the straight-up denial to, like, oh, I'm in control here. Oh, wait, shit, no, I'm not. I've got to explain myself. And, oh, God, my phone's ringing. Oh, shit, it's my overbearing father. Oh, I loved the acting in that scene. Lastly, Paul. This guy looks very familiar to me. I have 100% seen him on TV. I know that. Also, I'm liking this guy. He's so demeaning. Like, literally, this guy has been on screen for, like, 2 minutes, and I'm like, you're gonna be an asshole. She was a gherkin short of a Big Mac. Holy shit. That, and he seemed... What was it he said? A once promising student who became a useless drunk. It's... One sec, I'm gonna take a sip because I can feel a coughing fit about to come on. 1 second. I'm doing a lot better. I just have a lingering cough, which is very annoying. And it does get a bit exacerbated when I get excited, and this game excites me. What can I say? He seemed to take that very personally. A once promising student who became a useless drunk. He is taking her death very personally, but I don't mean that in like a he's upset by her death. It almost feels like he's upset at her wasted potential. Okay. Let's ask about this from the top.
How well did you know Kate?
Hardly knew her at all. Met her a few times. At the course, that's about all.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Last Friday. I just popped down to the course and about 7.
Did you speak to her then?
It's possible.
And how did she seem? Was she happy, sad, preoccupied?
She was drunk.
that lines up. Also, when he says I saw her last Friday, I believe that was when she died. So he saw her on the day of her death. He might have spoken to her, he might not have, but she was drunk. Okay.
Do you know if Kate had lost this? It's her driving license.
How would I know that?
You didn't see it lying around anywhere?
No.
The look on his face, I don't give a shit about this. Why are you showing it to me? Love it. We still can't ask about this bloody tape. That's going to annoy me.
Did you know anything about Simon Thompson's bike?
No.
All right then. Good stuff. Great talk. Okay, the pendant.
Have you seen this before?
Looks familiar. Where did you find it?
It was, in the woods.
Presumably had something to do with Kate or her killer.
Well, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Shouldn't it be in an evidence bag, Inspector, in case of contamination?
I didn't have one with me, unfortunately.
Well, don't go testing it for DNA, will you? It's got yours all over it.
Oh, that is... One, this guy's acting it's very reminiscent of Alan Rickman as Snape. The way he enunciates words, it's very similar. But also, they really are setting us up to hate this guy. Like, oh... I mean, on one hand, he did have a point. Like, this should be in an evidence bag. And if there is any DNA evidence on it, it's inadmissible in court because Jenks has been, rubbing his grubby little mitts all over this pendant. So, on one hand, I'm like, he does have a point, but also he's being a twat about it. I find that interesting because with most people, we haven't been able to ask about the broken pendant. We've been having to ask about the card. That is interesting.
Ever tried Simon's homebrew? Simon Thompson?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't touch anything that has had Simon's fingers in it.
Okay.
What do you know about this?
It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol we use sometimes on the course. Little bird in cage flying away. Freeing themselves from their past is the analogy.
So do they get them when they join the course or something?
No, not as a rule. I think I bought one once as a present.
Oh, not for Kate, by any chance?
No, not for Kate. I can't really remember who it was for. A birthday present, maybe for one of the students.
Which student?
I've no idea.
Emma, if I was Emma, I'd call this creepy-ass old man an unwanted admirer. Oh. God, I didn't say this, but when he was like, I wouldn't touch anything that had Simon's fingers in it. I don't know, the way he said it, like, I squeezed my legs shut. I was like, let me just cross my legs. No, thank you. Why did you say it in that way? I didn't say anything at the time, but I thought it. He's just got creepy energy. This has to be the guy who bought the necklace for Emma. The fact that he's saying like, oh, I bought one as a gift for someone, can't remember who, when he clearly can. He clearly can. He's lying when he says he can't remember. And then we have Emma saying this was from an unwanted admirer, but I'm not going to tell you who. They have to be the same person. They have to be. From a storyteller's perspective, they have to be one and the same. So, oh God, Emma had an affair with Ryan, and Ryan's dad was hitting on her. Oh, Emma, you poor sod. Emma just being hit on by this entire family. Jesus, Emma. God damn.
What do you know about this?
Looks like a mask.
You don't recognize it?
Not particularly. Looks like a monarch mask.
What's a monarch mask?
Monarch is fancy dress outfitters. Ryan goes there sometimes.
Okay.
What did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
You didn't hear anything about an argument in the pub?
Should I have?
No, that's fine.
I can't get a good grasp on this guy's tells. I really can't... How do I put it? The thing with the freedom necklace, I know he's lying when he says, oh, I don't remember who I gave it to. Mainly because I'm using, like, okay, what makes sense from a story perspective. We have a guy saying, oh yeah, I bought one for a student once, but I absolutely can't remember who it was for. And we have a young girl saying, oh, I got one of these, and the person who gave it to me, I didn't like them. Like, that makes narrative sense, therefore he has to be lying. But I can't actually get a good grasp on his tells. And he responded so quickly to, like, oh, did you hear anything about an argument? I wasn't in the pub to hear an argument. Like, he responded so quick, almost abnormally quick. But he is also very direct and to the point. Ooh, don't know about that.
Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency.
And when was that?
Last year.
Is that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Half lie, right there. There we go.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Ever used one?
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No.
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
Not at all. Strange question.
How well did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam, who took his life.
Oh. Well, as far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
I believe he had problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
He was drunk?
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression, is that normal for the students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Oh, this guy has no empathy. None whatsoever. I keep saying that the guy playing Paul, I'm getting confused between their names. Okay, it's the guy playing Ryan. I keep saying he looks like a lizard, but this guy has the heart of a lizard. Jesus. Hot damn.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs. All that kind of nonsense.
Guilt cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector, my house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
God, it's almost like they're trying to create little psychopaths on this course. Also, oh no. Jenks, no, you can't. Not in front of this guy. Not in front of this guy. I'm gonna pause right here because I am out of time. I'm just so glad to be playing this again. I'm so intrigued by so many different things. I find it very interesting that Liam and Kate seem to be so similar. You know, they both seem to have, and maybe not a history of depression, but Liam was clearly depressed. They were both drunk. They're both going to the course drunk. I get whether Liam's death was a suicide or not, I don't know. Here's the thing, we're not here to explain Liam's death. We're here to explain Kate's. It would be nice if we get answers surrounding Liam. However, for right now, I am going to assume that Liam's death was a suicide. If that is what it was decided in a court of law, Atlas, paid off his family, they made reparations, it was decided they had no, they weren't involved. Okay, I'm gonna go along with that. Unless the game provides me with evidence that is like, nah, they hung his ass and then threw him in the pond. Unless the game presents me with evidence, I am going to assume it was a suicide. It's highly suspect. What are they doing to these kids on this course if year after year you have a certain percentage of the group becoming depressed and drunk, potentially to the point where they commit suicide? I mean, for all we know, Kate's death could have been a suicide. It's highly unlikely. Also, that would be a bit of an anticlimax. Yeah, it was suicide. All of this was pointless. But it just... I have so many questions. I have so many thoughts whizzing around my brain. And hopefully we can get some answers to those thoughts in the next episode. We're also going to tell Paul to rock on in the next episode. It's going to be great and cringy, and I'm going to love it. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.